Hey, good evening everybody. Welcome to another live stream from the Mohawk Forex team, and we're back to doing our late night here, well 8 p.m. UK time, our end of New York session scalping, which we're going to be doing more of these after I get back from my break. Then we're going to be doing more end of session scalping. Obviously throughout the day we're scalping the opens, the news events and bits in between, but most of the opens and the news events. So we just thought at the end of the kind of US session it'd be nice to go over some trades, have a chat and talk about our setup, and also try and get a few last minute scalps in before the close of play. We've got Bloomberg as well plugged in, make sure that's on in the background.
3 strategies to beat the bear.
And see if there's any last minute news. We're looking at US-30, we're looking at gold, and we're looking at NAS. All on the 5-minute chart, and also we've got a 1-minute setup as well to help with confirmations of reversals. But 5 minutes is our main game. We're using our AX system RSI scanner and our RSI candles and our points of interest, which is a Fibonacci and support and resistance and support and resistance bands as well. All this you can get access to by joining our group. The indicator we use that are free are the SAR and the Vortex indicator, which gives us a kind of a trend overview on here. So we've had a good day today. Successful trading on the opens and the news events, as you can see here, for New York on the US-30, and you could relate to the US-30, cable, SP500 or gold. And today we were successful on the PPI trade. Now PPI, the last few that it's been announced, it shoots up before the news is kind of released. If you're using economic calendar such as my FX book like this, like we use, there's always that, same as NFP. The market, obviously the market makers are moving the markets before you get chance. There's always that delay, that lag. So what I tend to do on things like, especially PPI today, is obviously I let the candle fly, look for that next area of support or resistance, and then wait for the pullback. And obviously that's where I won on my trades. I think I did get one cheeky buy on the kind of bounce from this level here, but most of my trades were when I see it wick down. We had heavy resistance, as you can see here, and the start of our blue confirmed level. So that's kind of a double confirmation that this resistance is most likely going to stick. Obviously it doesn't always, but 80-90% of the time when these two combine together, you know this area is a strong resistance. As you can see, it held up throughout the whole session right to where we are now. So there was your PPI news. We got the sells in on there. The open, of course, we know will always go usually the opposite to what most people think, for a market to grab some liquidity. And obviously everyone was thinking probably the market was going to sell, which it was, but on that initial open we saw another buy. We got 3 or 4 buys away, and I was just talking to Justin about this. We saw the rejection, that hammer, reverse hammer from our blue zone, and I was unsure whether, you know, this is a fake out, this is going to be a reversal. Obviously it was, but seeing it afterwards is easier to spot, but at the time I didn't know whether. So I used my 1 minute, the 1 minute SAR and our counter channels just to see what was going on, and flicking between the two. So there was the buy on the open, seen NY open, which was confirmed. I got straight in on that using the 5 minute, and then I was just waiting really for a sell signal to pop up on the SAR, and we got that a few minutes after. And then obviously we wait for it to cross our moving average and cross our dots on the SAR. So that was the sell, this was the pullback that we got. We grabbed some of this and then we grabbed the rest of this here, and then we were done. We were done on that. So we caught this kind of candle here, 5, 10, 15, it would have been around here. That's 10 minutes after the open, and we were kind of done. And then obviously the market ranged around for a little bit, as it does. We got another sell signal, which we didn't take because obviously our candles are white. We're waiting for them to go red. We had a buy signal to say, yeah, the market is in a range. Again, it didn't cross any of our SAR dots, so we left that alone. Then we get the sell signal, and obviously because we're at the top and we're at this heavy resistance, the sells are more likely to be the play. But again, you can never be sure, and again, as you can see, it didn't cross first or second dots, and it was sat on this kind of support level. I did sort of perk up when I saw this candle here, but then you can see it's a weak inverted, pressure is building. But again, we go back to a range. We had a little manipulation, a little move up here. We looked at our vortex, which is still saying red crossover. The green flashed in there for just one candle, but there's no way you're taking a buy because you're below all the SAR dots. There's no buy signal. So we're still hanging on for a sell, and obviously this went on all the way really until we got a break finally. These candles here broke below the support, so weak candles, not great candles, but they are definite. If you wait for it to finish, it definitely finished before, so suddenly this support level on our points of interest becomes resistance, obviously. So this is where again we could have got in. Nice easy take profit as we use our points of interest as a TP just above. So you could have gone for 300 points, 30 pips on that sell. You look down the RSI, when the candles go red, you know the RSI has come out of our neutral zone, which keeps us on the right side of a trade. You know, it stops a lot of fake outs. When people just use the center line 50, it can work, it can get you in a trade early, but also we see it many times, the RSI fakes, turns around, you know, you can panic on that. With our levels here, there's more confirmation that a sell is going to happen. So okay, you didn't trade for all this period, but when you did, it was pretty much a, you know, there was a good higher probability that that was going to play out at least for them 30 pips. And then we just waited to see if this level would have been broken at all. We're checking the RSI, flashing red, just trying to, but again, you've got a reverse. Sell signal still in place, and then this is what we like to see. And we get this nice drop. This I would have got in straight away. You know, I don't even wait for the candle to finish. When I see it go that bright red, which means good momentum. You look at the vortex, it's wide apart, big moves, big momentum, big volume, and bang, and we're looking to take profit at our blue neutral and support zone here. Look, you can see we didn't know it was going to break, which it did. So you could have gone in again on this one and scalped down to the next level. And again, just those moves there, if you got in even halfway of that candle, you would have been looking at 60 odd pips with a spread. And you could have gone again for the same amount, and in fact you could have gone again, and again it kind of crossed. I would wait for this candle to finish with our blue zone forming, but once that finished below, we could have gone in again for another true scalp. Vortex is really wide, look, it's not coming together. RSI is right on the oversold, so it is the final trade. You know your sells are coming to an end, but that was one final scalp that most people should have jumped in on. And again, you could have walked away with another 40, 50 pips. And then we get the hammer. We know them as a possible reversal. The RSI kicks up. Then we see the pullback here into the zone. We don't take that. We don't take this. The buy signal comes in. But obviously, to take a buy, we're looking at price to cross. Just let me take that. Take those off, look, just so you can see. We're looking for price to cross our dot, and to be ultra, you know, safe, you can use the second dot. That's the way to trade it. Is either, you know, price to cross above here for an aggressive entry, and for a better, more confident entry, cross above that second dot there. So we could have gone in this candle here. You have a look, and you're white, so it's an aggressive entry. You want it to be green. Vortex is just flipped, so you could have gone for a little pullback scalp, or you could have waited. It didn't cross here, it crossed here, and now you're green on the vortex, but you still got a chance of it bouncing off our baseline. So again, this is where I more likely would have gone in. Again, still white, so you know there's a possibility that it's going to pull back, and it does pull back on you. But again, any of these trades, when you're trading the white candles, you know they're risky, but you just put your stop loss where you need it to be. So say you entered on that here, you don't have to go all the way down to the dots like some people do. I would just look at that last reversal kind of here, top of those candles there, and that's where I would set it. And to be honest with you, RSI, once it kicked into that area here, I probably would have taken my profit off the table about there. So you still would have walked away with 30 pips. So a nice, easy, true scalping trade. And most of the time I'm not setting a stop loss, I'm watching it manually for these trades because I'm in and out. I don't really like to hold. You know, if I do hold, it usually means I've made a bad trade, because I like to see it take a bit of drawdown, as it always does when you first enter a trade, and then go on to either I'm ending the trade with green profit, or it's hitting the TP level I've set. If I'm holding it for 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, then usually it means I've kind of I've entered in a range, I've not read it right, and what I'll do is usually average down, stick another trade in to average that out, and basically just come out of the trade at break even, or a small loss. Kind of that's the method I've been doing, and just keeping that rolling and rolling and staying consistent and trying to finish green. That's the most important thing, whatever account size. And I've been trading with an account size of just $200-300. I'm trading with an account size of about 15-16, depending on what I'm trading. US-30, you need a little bit more money to play with that, kind of, so bigger to take the positions. But for those with smaller account, you can use the SP500 instead. So basically, from here, we could have got a little cheeky scalp. We'd have been out of the trade, and obviously we're at the end of the session now. We're just looking to see if there's anything. If we break green here, we might be able to get a trade. We're just going to see if RSI is going to break out of our zone, look, and cross the green to be a hit into a buy. Let's just stick our axe back on there, just so we can see the levels we're playing at. We can just stretch this out. And we've got some air, we've got a bit of gap. It's pointing up here, look, nicely. So we've got 30 pips there. Just watching the vortex as well. And again, we've crossed our dots now. So let's just have a look, just make sure we're on US-30. I'm just going to see if this is going to push up. Let's just go get in there and see. It's going to wick down, obviously. Let's see if it pushes up a little bit.
Bloomberg News executive editor for international government, joining us in the middle of the night, or very early in the morning, I should say, on the phone from Bali. She's there
It's quite nice. I like to see when the prices are volatile, moving around. It usually means you can get in and out on a nice trade. And we're out. Yep, great, got that. So we just scalped that, and that was 23.17. So that was about $26 there. Let's post that in the group. I did 0.5 on that trade on US-30. And that's what I mean. This is what true scalping is all about. It's just looking at that analysis and basically, you know, getting in and getting out. We might have a chance of going again. We're just watching the RSI here at 59. Then we'll switch to gold, see if we can get a trade on gold as well. This looks like a fairly decent area of resistance. We're wicking down at the moment, so let's just try again on this. When it wicks down, I like that. Exposes the wick. It's going to push up. Let's see. Brilliant. Yay, that's a good one. Okay, that's another trade done. And we got 35.80. So that was about $40 on that one. So we're already over $70 up in just a couple of minutes of scalping. Just post the results in the group. That's all from that candle, just watching price action. Watching our vortex and RSI. So I wonder if it's going to hit the top of that support there, the resistance here. It's watching the RSI again. Just you want to catch the candle, you want to be entering at the lowest point of the candle. Obviously, we're watching vortex, conscious that it's squeezing. I don't want to be caught entering at the highest point and drop down into too much drawdown. But yeah, we're $70 up, exactly $70, £58.97 converted to $70. That's what brokers say. Now we've got a red. And it's still white, so it's still ranging, but it shows you if you catch it right. I'm just watching that vortex, it's looking pretty good, but again I want to be entering at the bottom. I want to see the candle reversing up. I want to see RSI get towards that 60 zone. As you can see, it's kind of, it is like a support and resistance area for the RSI. That's kind of how I use it. We're above the average line. So I'm not entering anything on this at the moment. Just watching the RSI, seeing if it's going to push up here. Look, it's still got momentum to come down. Again, it could come right down to this level here, and you could be in drawdown. See, I had the rejection. That's why I pushed down. I've had the rejection. It's just nice and smooth for the end of the day as well. It's nice and smooth. I've got a pre-level of. I'm going to put 100 on the table here to 10 pips. So basically, it'll just wick out and end my trade at 10 pips. Automatically. So this is looking good again. Let's see if that's going to push up. Let's have a look. It's probably going to wick down. We'll just wait and see. You like to see when you've got that hammer. RSI just 57. Wait and see if we can get another trade here.
That's a three-time loser. And I'd like to think that the Republican Party is ready to move on from somebody who's been, for this party, a three-time loser.
All right, that
it's pushing up.
Founder and CEO Ken Griffin talking with Bloomberg New Economy editorial director Eric Schatzker at the Bloomberg New Economy Forum underway in Singapore. We do want to point out that this was a conversation done earlier today over in Singapore. So obviously before.
Brilliant. Okay, how did we get there? And we've got another 12.63 and 2.1. So we've got another $20 there. Just a quick flash in and out. Just show that. So we're 87.50. 87.50 already. It's in like 20 minutes. That's good. So you just got to watch the levels. Just you know, don't be overconfident. don't think it's going to assume. Now we've got a green candle, you see. Now we've got that nice push. We'll enter on the white. Let's see if this is going to push all the way through, back up. Just wait and see. I like it when it flashes green, you see. It means the RSI has hit that favourite, that sweet spot, 60. So we'll just wait and see if we're going to get any green on this. It's going to push through again. Price usually likes to retest on that. The momentum is definitely to the top side. It's trying to pull back from that sell-off. It's a good thing about the end of the session. It likes these nice little juicy moves at the end of the day. And we're out. Brilliant. Yes, we're in and out there. Entered on the white, out on the green. And what did we get there? We got 18.95 and 6.32. Two positions, 0.5. That's 25. That's another $30. We're $117 now. $117.51 exactly. So let's post those into the group again so we can see my results. So it's just on that, just trading that one candle. As you can see now, I won't be entering now because we're coming up to a resistance. We want to see if this candle is going to break the zone. That's why I got out on those trades. Vortex is splitting apart, nice and smooth. I don't think there's anything going on in Bloomberg, is there really? Let's have a look. I'm just talking about FTX, of course.
FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried's investment or purchase of 30% of Skybridge. Skybridge did say that
there's your pullback. Again, I know some people might be looking at taking the sell. If it was a heavy resistance area, like, or a minor one like this, these are the extra levels. They're not blue, they're not true confirmed. We've got a nice support here at the neutral support zone, so that's more like the way I'm looking at. But with 60.59, just pulling back off that. But let's switch to, we've had fun with US-30, let's go to gold now. Let's have a look at gold, what gold's doing. Justin's favourite.
Yeah, it's just fascinating kind of the relationship and just how, what a
And
great
again,
moment to have.
and again, just go back to US-30, if we just go to here, look, and just have a look at the 1 minute. We're up to speed now, sorry, just on the 1 minute, you can just look, you know, this is what we're dealing with. The buy signal, we went in on the pullback here, went in the pullback here, and now we've got another one here, you see, look, so we're well above, and on the 1 minute we've only just got a confirmation, look. So I was just using the price action on the 5 minutes really to kind of gauge, and I knew we were going to get a rejection on here. Like I say, we're slowing up a little bit as you do, end of the day, but the market is trying to regain some of these losses from the open, as you can see. So again, we want to see the RSI, we want to see a green candle and a break above, but let's just flip to gold. A lot of people like trading gold. Yeah, I love the US-30. It just moves better. I mean, I prefer it to DAX now. I know it's half the price in terms of what you've got to do, but when you get your account size up to trading, if you can catch the US-30 for scalping like that, it's perfect. You know, just showing it, you know, it's a quick money. Gold has really just come to a stop on this heavy resistance here, hasn't it? I'm just going to flip those around. Yeah, we're in the Vortex is still green. We're still looking, still says looking for a buy, but we've got no buy signal. So, and all we want to be doing at this stage is really basically, while we're doing other things, is just add an alert. Sorry, wrong one. Add an alert on the SAR. Just once per bar, and we just want to be long, so we get a little alert when we do get a buy signal, because that's probably what we want to be doing, seeing if it's going to break this heavy resistance. Obviously, if Vortex closes up and our RSI is just dipping below our average line, then we're going to look for a sell, and obviously our sell signal is in kind of motion at the moment. As you can see, we've got basically chance of 15 pips or so down to the bottom. But Vortex is telling us do not enter the trade. Green above red. You know, we're just sat on heavy resistance, so we could break. And obviously we need a buy signal, which we haven't got. So gold is just no trade at the moment. Let's have a quick look at NAS. We've set the alert on that. And NAS is pretty much doing exactly the same as US-30. Oh, here we go. I spoke too soon. Yes, there's the buy signal on gold. Now, is it going to break? Is it going to break this level here? And let's see. Let's wait for this to wick down a little bit. Got 1 minute left on this candle. See if that buy signal sticks. And obviously the rules are you don't want to be entering a trade really until we're above that here. So we'll just watch this while they're... And this is our trade every day, you know, apart from the opens where we're in and out in 1 or 2 candles. It's quite, you know, this it's sitting around even on a 1 minute and a 5 minute chart. Are we going to get a break? Is it going to be one of those nights where it just ranges along? Look, see? How many people probably would have put a buy in there? You just never put a buy on the heavy resistance zone, whatever. Want to see a little break. We've got a couple of green dots. But look what's happening with Vortex. Look what's happening. Vortex is crossing over. We wanted that to be a wider, going wider, not. So this is where it just tells you if one signal is telling you to buy, one signal is telling you basically sell. What's that mean? We're in a range. So it means this resistance level is holding up. So just wait. And you can set alerts. You can set alert for price. You can put a line across the second dot, and you can set an alert on that line for when price touches it to enter a trade. Set a pending order. Do what you want to do. I go in on it live, but there's multiple ways you can do this. You don't have to just sit here watching it. You can just put a line across there and flick an alert on it. You know, it's. But you can see gold is just kind of coming to a bit of a standstill. Candles are weak. We're white, and we're going to get a break here. It would be nice to get a trade away on gold, but it's looking, it's trying. We've got 3 minutes left. Let's just look at the 1 minute. This is where you can just dip down to the 1 minute and see what's going on. As you can see, it's kind of in a crap area because it's, you really want it to be down the bottom here with the buy signal. Otherwise you get this, where if you just watch the 1 minute, you just freak out, in and out, shake it all about, and you're just going nowhere. And you're just ending in losses, and you know, for the 1 minute to be successful, we want to see things where we're just breaking the center moving average, or we're outside the bands, just like you would with a Bollinger Band kind of thing. But I'm not using it, I'm using it to tell me that the 5 minute signal is valid, you know, and obviously that signal according to the 1 minute is not valid. It's there, the buy signal's here, but it didn't do anything. Look, and if you can see, there's the line again where you should have entered. That's your level. This is where you want price to cross on the 1 minute for them to be confident that what you're seeing on the 5 minute is also good. See, makes sense? It's just frustrating because as a trader you want to click, you want to get in, I want it to. Oh, it's definitely going to cross that. You know damn well as soon as you enter that, yeah, you know damn well as soon as you enter that buy, it comes down on you like a ton of bricks and you go, why the hell didn't I wait for it to just to finish above that line? And this is what you're seeing. Look, it's trying. Look, the market wants to. RSI is getting to 60. Look, this could be a good opportunity. We're getting a break. Right, let's see if we get anything on this. Let's have a look and see. Got a bit of spread at this time of night on it as well, so we'll just watch and see if we can get a trade away. Let's have a look on the 5. Here we go. Let's see. Gone back to white. See, I like to see it when it goes green and then goes white. Enter on the white. Enter on the lowest point. That's what you want to be trying to do on any trade you do. Justin will back me up on that.
Nasdaq up 167, a gain there of 1.5%. 10-year yield 3.79%. The 2-year right now 4.36%. Stocks are being led higher by a rally in tech shares as data adds to evidence inflation may have peaked. Right now the Nasdaq 100 index is up by 1.5%. American and Bahamian authorities have been discussing the possibility of bringing Sam Bankman-Fried to America for questioning. This according to 3 people familiar with the matter. Those sources say the conversations between law enforcement officials in the 2 countries have intensified in recent days as they probe his role in the implosion of cryptocurrency firm FTX. Stocks are pushing higher with 2 positive data points on inflation. Where does this now leave the Federal Reserve? That question this morning for Joanne Feeney, a partner with Advisors Capital Management.
My concern is people should just be aware that there's a reasonable chance that some of the Fed speakers are going to come out and say, don't discount the fact there's a lot more work to do to bring inflation down. We're going to have to continue to raise rates, and we're going to be paying attention to the data. These are just 2 data points. There's a lot more work to be done from the Fed.
And again, we've got the 10-year yielding 3.79%. Spot gold up 0.4%, 17.79 the ounce. Bitcoin up 2.3%, 16,756. West Texas Intermediate crude up 1%, 86.78 for a barrel of WTI. Bonus season looking grim on Wall Street. Year-end incentive pools are expected to drop sharply across the finance industry amid a pullback in mergers and acquisitions, persistent inflation, and the threat of a potential recession. Among some of the big banks, we've got Goldman Sachs up 0.2%.
Gold's still trying to get back to RSI is almost touching 60. Look, almost. There we go. Green. Look, is now. This is the time. Is this the break? So the only thing stopping us being in a bit of profit would be just the spread. I mean, on the 1 minute, look, it's reversing back down, it's flickering, it's trying to cross that line. It did do here, look. But because of the top of the bands, you just don't, And the candles are weak, look. It's not great price action, and a big price action trader, it's just crossing over on the red. So there's still no trade yet on this. But we'll just watch. Like I say, we've got some good wins on US-30. US-30 look decided not to break that level and come all the way back down. So we did the right thing getting out on those trades, like I say. And NAS, let's have a quick look at NAS. NAS doing exactly the same. It's almost, again, if you've got a smaller account, trade NAS. Bigger account, US-30. Smaller accounts, NAS. And NAS is almost the same as DAX. But we're just going to stick with gold. Look, it's trying. You see on the 1 minute just ranging along. This is the only problem with the end of session, is trying to find something that isn't just stuck in a range. So wait for something that's got a little bit of momentum. Let's say vortex is crisscrossed. Trying, no.
Right, of how far away GM is from making profit on EVs, and it reminds us it's in this transition where it goes from making combustion engine vehicles with good margins to EVs, and that's going to take time. It's a process.
How do the margins look on those EVs, Ed?
Well, even from 2025, when they're profitable, not great. And the reason being that the strategy for GM is very much to take the profits, the initial profits from that EV business, and put them back into R&D. You know, you have to remember they're kind of at this nascent stage now where they might sell 44,000 EVs this year, but those are like small volumes, mostly from the legacy Bolt product, and then the Cadillac Lyriq and the Hummer EV pickup, which is very exciting, but it's modest volumes. The other big part of the story is their next generation of battery platform, Ultium, which they're currently building, Lordstown, Ohio, but in very small volumes as well. And that's a big part of what they're pegging their future on, this next generation battery tech.
And how much of this is going after Tesla, which is safe to say, and you know, very clear that they had the first mover advantage when it comes to the EV market. There's a lot more players now. Is GM specifically trying to go after Tesla here?
Well, a big part of the story, and this is what our sources are telling us here at Bloomberg, is that this is supposed to be fighting talk from GM, that they really see a future in which they are a leader in electric vehicles. Whether they are the leader rather than a leader remains to be seen. The gap is still really big on whichever metric you choose, whether it's the vehicles that have been delivered.
Pushing up, here's the brake.
Right? Last year, Tesla, which only makes electric vehicles,
Is this going to push up?
$5 billion of net income.
So we can see
To have almost 19
it's a nice little push.
income into fiscal 2023. GM is nowhere near that, of course, in getting that kind of level of earnings from its electric vehicle offering. But it's certainly its ambition, and it's certainly committed to putting the profits it gains in the early stages to growing its footprint even more.
Hey, Ed, how would you characterize
30 seconds left on this candle.
EVs right now from an investment perspective? We know that, as you mentioned, internal combustion vehicles are more profitable, and the company's still investing in building those vehicles. But how would you characterize the spend when it comes to investment?
Aggressive. You know, GM has poured money into product development, you know, bringing a lot of vehicles online quickly. You know, this is not just a case of GM saying, okay, we're going to do one or two models. They're starting with the Hummer EV pickup and the Cadillac Lyriq SUV, but actually next year it all picks up pace when they have the Silverado EV and a broader offering. But they have many models planned, right? We're talking tens of billions of capex.
Ed, is that Silverado supposed to compete with the Ford F-150 Lightning?
Exactly. You know, like, let's be honest, we're largely talking about North America, where the bigger, bulkier cars are king. The pickup is sacred in this nation. The Ford F-150 or the F-Series is the bestseller, so Ford did what makes sense. They made an electric version of it, and the early signs are that demand for the F-150 Lightning is great. GM is moving to counter that and bringing in the Silverado EV pickup, trying to kind of lean into one of their best sellers and compete in a market in which they're strong, but they're in a really fierce battle with GM.
Ranging around.
It's about Cybertruck. You know, at some point Tesla comes with its own futuristic looking.
Pushing up nicely.
The consumer, where do your loyalties lie?
But you do think about, right, if you can get a mass market EV
Brilliant. And we're done. Yay. Okay. 3 positions there. Took nothing major. 666. So about $20. Yeah, we're 141.21 now. So we caught 3 buys on gold there. And again, that's how easy it is. It can be. You're just going to hold and wait. I entered when I saw that green candle, this candle here, when that wicked down and it ended above our zone. I'm taking the buy. Yeah, could have held it a bit longer, but the time of night, you know what I mean, it's kind of like that's good enough. That's a $22 win in what was, you know, like 2 minutes. So you know, don't be greedy. That's the name of the game. Don't listen to these people who say you should hold, blah blah blah. You know, do what's right for you in terms of getting in and out of a trade. You know, if it's right for you to make $2 or $3, then to make $2 or $3. If it's right for you to try and make $40, then do that. But don't listen to these people who'll be put off by saying, you know, the usual thing. You don't hold your winners long enough, and you hold your losers. You know, you've got to cut them both. Cut your losses as quick as you can, and cut your winners as quick as you can, and go again, because you're scalping. You're a scalper. You know, you're not a swing trader. You're entering loads of trades today. I mean, we've been on air 40 minutes, and we've done position wise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 positions. There you go. So and we're 141.21 in less than 40 minutes work. So, and we're just using sensible, we're using 0.3 there on gold. That's only a on IC markets I use, well, that's commission of 135 per way, so like $3 per way. So you've got to make sure you're clearing $3 to make any money, and the margin's only 90 bucks, something like that. 95 bucks is the margin. So it's, you know, you could do that trade with $300-400 account. You don't need anything massive, but even with a bigger account I still try and use the same lot sizes. I don't go Lambo and crazy, because obviously you can blow your account a lot quicker, but two, I want to be able to open multiple positions and average down any losing trades or add positions to a winning trade. That's what I like to do. That's just my preference. That's why I try and teach people. Leave yourself spare margin and leverage so you can open, you know, half a dozen trades if you need to get yourself out of a hole. I know some people don't like doing the average down thing, but I like it. It works for me. Yes, you can end up with 2 trades that are against you, or 3 as opposed to 1, but you only should be averaging down when you know you've got a confirmed reversal the way that you were meant to be going in the first place. You don't just blindly enter it. As soon as you're in drawdown, you wait, and obviously you either hit a stop loss and end your trade and then take the trades, or if you've got good leverage, you keep that trade running and then just average it down by going the reverse way, but only when you've got confirmation on your chart, not just revenge trading, you know. That was nice. That was a nice little, you know, little $20 on gold. Nothing amazing this time of night. It's small moves. Vortex is back up. RSI has crossed the zone. You know, it might range around. It might go a little bit higher. I mean, for people who want to be ultra cautious, you probably wouldn't have entered a trade, because the second, that's where your line, you want it to be your second dot. I would say aggressive traders get in on the first, well, aggressive traders get in before the dot. Semi-aggressive traders get in when it's the first dot, and those of you who are ultra cautious, stick your line above the second dot. And you know pretty much if price breaks above that second dot, it's going to carry on. You know, and again, we're only looking at getting there, look, to trying to get 10 pips out of it. As you can see, look, it's now hit that support, which is now resistance. This will flick to resistance. And you can see you've got a dip down RSI. So I did the right thing, you know, getting out of the trade, not being greedy. And remember, I got 665 3 times. So 6, 12, 18, 20. So it's about, it was 22, and that's after I've paid the broker the commissions and stuff and spread. So that's net. So that's pretty good, you know, at this time of night. You know, yeah, $141.21 in 45 minutes. It's not bad. And it's fairly smooth. That's the advantage of trading the end of session, is you get the moves, but they're slower. So you've got time, one, not to panic. You know, there's nothing worse than seeing a candle flicking up and down. You don't know what you're doing. So the moves are slower, but that means as a trader, you don't panic as much, because you can wait for things to go your way, or end the trade when you know it's definitely not gone your way, but in a smoother, slower pace, rather than the scalping that I do, aggressive scalping that I do on the opens and news events, where literally you've got to get it right and you're in and out. So it's a good practice is what I'm trying to say. If you want to learn this kind of technique of true scalping, then practicing the kind of end of session is a good way to do it, because everything is much slower. As you can see, I've just shown you live, you know, that's kind of what I do day in, day out. Let's just look at US-30. In fact, let's have a look at what it's doing on the 1 minute. Like, flick to the 1 minute. You can see if I was ending a trade in a buy, that's where I would have ended my trade. Just check the 1 minute, and if I got a sell signal on the 1 minute, I would have been out, and then I'm waiting either for a continuation of the sell, which would be below here. Look, That's when we're going down. If we cross here, we're going down to the moving average or down to the bottom of the band. So it hasn't been down there for a couple of hours, look, as you can see. Even that wasn't really touching it. So there's your confirmation. And if it's a buy, we'll wait for the buy signal to take us back up to the top. At the moment it looks like it's coming down. If you go to the 5-minute look, you can see it's just pushing down back, RSI back down again. Doesn't mean it's going to be a sell, just means it's probably just going to end up ranging around this area till the close of play. US-30 on the other hand, look, is now back up to where it was. We're still white candles, so we still shouldn't be taking a trade. As you can see, we're in our neutral zone. The bias is towards the upside according to our vortex. And if you are trying to scalp this, then obviously again you should be looking at, you know, getting out around that resistance level. But I won't be taking any trades now. We're coming down. We don't know if it's going to come all the way down to this heavy. If it hits the neutral support and we get a green on the outside, it's a micro scalp. But really at the moment that should be the end of it, you know. But we're going to go another 10 minutes. We'll go for the hour and just see if there's any more trades. It's looking unlikely, but I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll leave gold alone for the minute. Let's just have a look at cable and see how cable's finished for the day. And then we'll have a quick look at the JP225 and just see what we think is going to happen later on that. So again, cable again, as you can see, same kind of setup. Pretty much again, just ranging along in this resistance zone. You had a reverse hammer there, kind of give indication that you might be getting a sell. Pops back, you get another one, but it doesn't sell this time. Now it's selling. You're still a buy overall. Vortex is green above red. RSI is dipping, so again it's dangerous territory. Do you want to sell? No. Do you want to buy? No. So what do? Leave alone. Leave that alone. Let's have a quick look at JP225, the old Nikkei. Now this is looking interesting. We've got a sell signal on the Nikkei. We're in that zone, as we know. But you can see here how it played out. Look, you had a nice buy signal here. Price crossed above the first dot. Bang, he was in. Let's cross the second dot, and you still would have got a little scalp there. Now we've got a sell signal, and we're waiting for price to cross here. Look, oh, we've got an alert. That's a sell on NAS. So NAS is selling off and JP225 is selling off. Okay. JP225. Let's just see if we can get in on this action. The spread's way too much. That's the problem with this. It's such great, but the spread is way too much. Massive spread on IC. So you gotta leave that alone. It's one for the Asian session. But we could get in on NAS. Let's have a look. NAS is just pulling back, hasn't crossed that zone. So again, much as I wanted to try and get in, vortex is red. We're neutral. Is it going to wick down? What gap have we got between the bottom of that candle and our green dot? We've got 100 there. So NAS. It's pushing down. And push up, let's see. Let's see if this crosses, if we can get a trade in on this. End our session. Just a couple of positions if we can.
There is no way to preserve Israel's Jewish and democratic character without one day establishing a viable Palestinian state. However far off that prospect.
Cool. Well, we've got $10. We've got $10 on that. Before it wicked back up. I did have $30 and it sort of wicked up. It didn't close out on me. Did it hit 100 pips? Did it hit 100 points? No, it didn't hit 100 points. That was a shame. But still $10. There you go. So we're 150.21 now. So that was just a quick scalp on NAS. I'm just going to see if let's see if we can get one more.
All right, everybody, we've got about 10 minutes left in today's trading session.
10 minutes left, as it says. End of session.
Watching that news of those stray Russian
Right, she's 8 minutes.
Poland killing 2 individuals, so that's something we want to get into with our news.
This nerd's going to pull down again.
Chief Investment Officer
In the
at
studio.
Capital Advisors. He's with us in the Bloomberg Interactive Brokers studio. Anton, it's good to see you because I've been doing this for a couple of years.
Let's say $150, that's not bad.
Gotten to meet him.
Just to see if this is going to push
I
down.
wanted to talk a little bit about what Carol mentioned.
Spreads are a little bit crazier on this at the moment, but
Reports from the Associated Press that cited an official saying that we did see 2 people killed in Poland as a result of Russian rockets.
not really doing anything yet.
Impression of events such as these on the markets, because we're seeing a little bit of a recovery in the S&P.
RSI still pointing down. Brilliant, and we're out. Yeah, we got in and out on that one. What did we get? 9.27, so about $11. So, oh, it is $11. Yeah, 161.21 now. So all these little ones add up. This is what you got to think. You know.
At the end of the day, the markets really want to go up into the markets. The most important thing are the inflation figures.
Well, and let's talk about that. And because the PPI report, right, we're starting to see what feels like peak inflation starting to come down. How do you see it, and what does that mean, in terms of rate policy in your view? And that certainly
That's it. Just posted that.
Well, what's driven me and other analysts nuts is the fact that
So we started about $1,500 or whatever in the account. So 161.21 in basically an hour's worth of work. You could do more, but just take the green, end green, and go back next day.
I think you got to let some of that take place.
Nice drink. Just got a glass of red wine going.
I wish they would just sort of, excuse my lingo, slow their roll. But let's do 25 at a time and just see, take it easy.
But we're still pretty high when you think about, where we are year over year. PPI numbers, the final number, let's see, it's like 8.3%, ex-food and energy 7.2% year. Oh, that was
Those are estimates.
8% was final demand, and then 6.7% was ex-food and energy year over year. Still high rates.
Oh
still
no,
numbers.
I'm not suggesting we don't have a problem.
So like I say, yeah, we're over 10%. We're 10% of our account
Think about what's happened to all
in 1 hour of trading. So yeah, perfect. Like I say, when you scalp like this, just be aware. Obviously, people will say, well, you can blow your account quickly because it'll spike, could spike 1,000 pips, whatever. Yeah, but it's got to be a news event. Now, one, you're going to be really unlucky if suddenly a war breaks out. God bless. Again, and markets react to that. You're just unlucky in the timing, or there's some announcement that isn't predicted. But just use your economic calendar. So where most people, traders, don't even take a look at this and just think it's nonsense or don't understand it. But if you take in trades like this around a news event, then yeah, you're going to get wiped out. You've got a good chance of being wiped out. So always look at your economic calendar, have that to hand, and rather than ignore it, I trade it. 80% of my trades come from trading the economic calendar. And the rest of it is the opens, and then a little bit like this. We'll do more of this late night session if you guys like it and like to just follow what we do and learn a bit more about the craft of this kind of true scalping. Then I will do more live streams like this. But yeah, well, happy with that. 161. Just going to log out of my account to make sure I don't take any more trades. That's the way to do it. That keeps you on the straight and narrow once you've taken the wins. Like I say, JP225, look at that. That was a beautiful. Now you see, you'd think, okay, that I should have took that trade. The spread was too much. The spread was just too much at this time of night. When I'm doing 225, I usually like to trade it on the 15. Use exactly the same strategy, but use it on the 15 to get bigger moves to cover that spread. And if I had look, it had been on the 15. I should have been entering on this candle here. I mean, as soon as it crossed that second dot, look at that, man, that was a great trade. And our neutral support told us where the TP was going to be. You couldn't get an easier setup. So things with bigger spreads, stick to 15. Things you want to micro scalp, 5 minutes, and things you really want to scalp, 1. But I use the 1 as a confirmation, not as an entry. The 5 minute is always my basis for my trading, and then 15 for, like I say, stuff where there's a bigger spread: silver, gold, the Asian indexes, some stocks, Aussie 200. You're safer, especially if you're trading during the Asia session, go on the 15, even go on the 30 if you want, but use the same setup. Just wait for the signals, wait for the confirmation, and enter and use the points of interest lines for your take profit and your stop loss. You know, it's not hard. So we're going to set this up ready for DAX for the morning, for London Open. You see some nice moves on DAX today after a range, and it broke beautifully earlier on this evening to the downside. We could have scalped that, and then we get across in the vortex and we're looking for buys, aggressive buys, because you know when it's in the white you've got a chance of it ranging, you know. So we'll leave that set up to save the screen, and 1 minute we want that on DAX as well. Perfect. And JP225 is going to be my pound dollar. I'll look at that in the morning. And we're going to have gold on this time frame on this chart here. We're all set. Brilliant. So thanks again for joining me. Give us a like, hit that like button, please. Subscribe, tell people about us. Go to the website www.mohawkforex.com if you want to learn more about how to join our group. Like I say, I'm having a break for a couple of weeks. Justin will be taking over in the group while I'm away, and I'll be doing some trading from the other side of the world. I'll be over in Asia doing some trading, so I'll get set up on my laptop and I'll be in our live room for the members, helping them. And I'll be back, and we'll be back doing more lives when I get back after my break. But thank you for joining me tonight. Like I say, give us a like, and I hope you enjoyed that. It's all for entertainment purposes, of course. Never follow me or anything I say, because even I don't know what I'm doing. So but until the next live stream, thank you all for joining, and catch you on the next one. Take care and see you on the other side.